I've been on TikTok recently. Well, fuck, I've been doom scrolling TikTok for like the past week. But I see that there's this trend, and not even trend, but an epidemic, I guess. This loneliness epidemic where us guys, for some reason, we are severely alone. And maybe it's happening to girls too. I don't really know. I haven't done any research or anything, but I have a lot of experience with the loneliness epidemic, as you would call it, because for the past couple years, 5 years to be exact, it's just been me, really. I don't have any friends. I don't have a girlfriend. I have my roommate. He's my best friend, but other than him, it's just been me. And fuck. I'll be honest, it does take a toll on the mindset to be alone for so long. But I want to talk about where this even all began, right? 2020, COVID, the year everything was fucked, in my opinion. I was a 2020 baby. I graduated 2020. Didn't really get a graduation though. So for those that didn't graduate 2020, you didn't get one. So yeah, imagine going 10, 12, however many years of school, bullying, studying, the fucking bullshit, all that nonsense, just to get to the end of the line, for them to look at you in your eyes and say, I'm so fucking sorry. Not really, but you're not getting a graduation, because we didn't foresee that the entire world was gonna fucking end. So sorry. So yeah, my graduation was a little different. I remember they texted us and like a random time, like come at 1 p.m. Like they would just text you. And you would go, and it would be like 3 people. I remember them telling me that all I had to do was walk across the stage and say something stupid, like a one-liner. And I remember saying something so fucking corny, like "keep your head up, buttercup," or something like that, along the lines of that. And it was so dumb, but I don't know. It's kind of sad. I didn't get prom either. Like, just, I don't know. Being my age, 23, graduating 2020, and then growing up in 2002, the years of events are so fucked for me. Right before I was born, did you know 9/11 happened? Fucking crazy. You know, I didn't see it, but I felt it. You know, the whole world felt it. And me just being a baby doesn't mean I don't feel the effects of, 9/11. The whole world was shook. And, when the recession hit in 2008, 2009, I was still a kid, right? I don't have to pay the bills, but my parents do. And, well, I'm living in the fucking house. So life growing up for my time period was just shitty, just all around. Growing up, I was a very interesting kid, very alone, very to myself. At first, it was just me, my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, like 7 of my cousins, and we all lived in the same house. That was just to save money. But my father, I don't truly know what actually happened. I'm not a very emotional guy. I don't want to get too emotional, get to know too much, because it gets too real for me. So like, I tend not to ask the deep questions. So I never really asked my mom, like, what ever happened to dad? He did try to come back into my life at one point when I was like 14, 15. But at that point, brother, it's too late. I grew up. I've seen things, whatever. But no, eventually my mom did move on. She moved out on her own. It was just me and my mom. And I remember bits and pieces of it. I remember moving into this apartment complex at one point in my life. Like, I think it was like 7 at this point, 7 or 8. And I just remember watching Cars. I don't know, like the Cars movie. I remember watching that on the TV, and fuck, man, life was so relaxing back then. Fuck. And then I remember I had this train set. I don't know, just like, for some reason, I just remember this one vivid memory of just me playing with this train set in like this living room at this apartment complex. My mom's there, and I don't know where I'm at, what apartment that is, but I just remember that. And then eventually, we moved from that, my mom and my stepdad, thank God, because I'll be honest, man, I was a kid, but looking back, my mom was just really trying to figure it all out. And thank, God, she didn't make any rash decisions that would have altered her life too bad. Because my mom, looking back, my mom's a very strong woman. And I want to give her that. I want to praise her for that, because me being a man now and seeing how hard life is, knowing that my mom had to do all of these things with a kid, holy fucking shit. My mom is so fucking strong to do all of that, because I don't think I could do that, truly. Like, if I had a kid right now in this moment, fuck me. I'm goodbye, guys. You're not seeing me no more. I don't even. Yo, fuck. I would not be able to cope with that. But somehow my mom, she's a strong woman. She did it. Met my stepdad. And my stepdad, he's a fucking great man. He's a great man. Like, when people like describe what is a good man, they are describing my dad to a fucking T. My dad came in, he did everything a man was supposed to do. Came in, added structure. He taught me everything I know to this day, how to, just work with my hands. I'm not as good as I should be. Like, he can fucking build a car, guys, like, from scratch. Like, he's one of those. He's a handyman. My mom found literally gold. I don't know how she did it. I tried my best to be similar to my dad, but it's hard to fucking be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, right? But no, he came in and he just added structure to life, and eventually we moved out and moved to. Did I even mention where I live? Mississippi. I don't know if I said that. Country life, Mississippi, right? But eventually we moved to the suburbs of Mississippi with my stepdad, and that's where I spent the remainder of my life in Mississippi, from like 10 to 20, right? Grew up, middle school, high school, college, a little bit, dropped out. I'm not going to talk about that. But no, middle school, life was hard because, man, I was a very different kid. Still different to this day, but kids, when you're a kid, they're very fucking mean. So everybody else was doing very normal things, talking about sex, drugs, just doing normal things. And here I am trying to do YouTube, and I'm thinking about the future and investing, and like I'm fucking, keep in mind, like, I'm like 12, right? Talking about like money and stupid, like, stuff that a kid should not even think about. So like, it just ostracized me from everybody, and I got made fun of a lot, bullied. Oh, Ty's YouTube, he talks white, he does it. I got made fun of a lot. I was a loner guy, but I was like sort of popular. Like, people liked me. Like, oh, that's Ty. They made fun of me. Like, school was so weird for me. Like, people would pretend to like me. Yo, Ty, he's a cool guy. What's up, brother? Boom, handshake. But then let's make fun of him and bully him and like break his shit. Like, it didn't make any fucking sense to me. But that's just middle school, high school shit, I guess. But no, I remember this one vivid story back in middle school, 6th grade, I think. Either 6th or 7th grade. The kids, like, the whole school found out about my YouTube channel, and instead of encouraging me like normal people, they made fun of me, tore me down. Literally, I remember I was at the lunchroom and they had my YouTube video playing loud. All the girls, all the guys laughing. Oh my God, look at Ty, he's so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ty, playing fucking Minecraft. Come, guys. I'm like, what, like 13, 14? I've hit puberty. I'm playing Minecraft. Fucking, oh my God. Whole school is seeing it. I'm getting made fun of, and it's just like, I just hated my life completely at that point. I was to myself, but I also was very insecure, right? I did a lot of thinking, very much overthinker. Growing up, social media was kind of on the rise, right? Around like 12, 13. That's when Instagram, I think, came out. And that's the first time I was shown whiteness, white beauty, beauty standards. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing until like 13, 14. Instagram, Kim Kardashian, all of these things hit me like a fucking truck. I was such a mess. At one point in my life, I thought being black was a crime, was an insult. I thought I was never gonna find love from a black, white, anything, because I don't want to say it as like you can't be professional, I guess, in black, or you can't talk properly in black, because that's so fucking stupid. Like, there's black people that talk, I don't want to say normally, but like without slang, right? But me talking like this, trying to talk to a black woman is fucking borderline impossible, because they want thugs. Let's just be honest. They want a thug. They want a guy that's going to shoot and rob and make them scared of their life. I don't know why. And I hate to put that on black women or all black women. I'm not going to put it on all black women. A vast majority of black women want thugs and rappers and shit. And I just don't understand why. And that just made me such a insecure mess, because I was black growing up, seeing white people. I was in Mississippi. They didn't like me. They were racist. And then the black girls thought I was weird. It was awful. Everything was just against me. Then I go to school, get bullied, make fun of my YouTube channel. But the one thing that I enjoy, my YouTube, the one passion that I can just be myself, and I get torn down for it. Middle school was not good for me. Luckily, I had my group of friends, as I said. They were there for me. They were always supportive. Devin, Dylan, Austin, Shane, Chase, my roommate Jerry. They were always there for me, and I thank God for them, because if they wasn't, truly honest, I don't know if I would be here, because at one point in my life, I hated so much of me. It was not okay. Like, I wouldn't even talk to my parents. My mom would come to my room, and I would just sit in the dark for hours, headphones on, all day. Like, I'll wake up, headphones on, walk, brush my teeth, headphones on, go say hey to my mom, headphones on, washing dishes, headphones on, anything I did, watching TV, headphones on. No matter what I did, headphones are on, because I just could not take in the world the way it was, because it was just so against me. So I just did anything I could to block it out. But eventually I got to high school, and that's when I kind of found myself more. I stopped giving a fuck about people as much. I would say middle school was a discovering period for me, like trying to figure out who I am. Like, do I even care about these people's opinions about me? Yeah, cool, he has a car and all that shit, but like, do I even give a fuck? No, right? High school was that for me. Found that, yes, I love YouTube, because, middle school, that but that scenario made me quit, in 7th grade. I didn't start back up until like 10th or 11th, because of how severe, they were on me. They just made, Ty's stupid, his voice is bad, he's never be a YouTuber, I can't believe he even did it. Like, it was bad. I was like, yo, can I even try to do this? Like, maybe I'm garbage, But like I said, eventually I said, you know what, no, I have to do this for me, because this is my passion. And ever since then, I've been doing it. So I do think them and me being alone for so long helped me discover so many passions, so much about myself. So obviously, like every other guy, when you get bullied, girls talk down on you, all of these things, you go down this dark rabbit hole where you want to prove everybody wrong. And I somehow stumbled on what you call the red pill, Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, all of these people. And I will say they made it worse. The red pill, if you guys don't know what it is essentially, they say the truth, but essentially it's talking about men and women and how dating is and how men are supposed to be and why dating is so fucked up. And all of these things kind of pushed me into this worldview where it made me even more secluded and even more angry. It got to the point where I started really believing that I was going to die alone. Not because I was black at this point, but because women are bad, or they only want me for money, or this or that. And, guys are pieces of shit. I should only use them for business, and I don't need friends unless they can help. It was so stupid, right? And here I am, years later, I'm affected still. You know, it's hard to be an adult and try to make friends. Like, I'm a talkative guy, you know, like I can talk to people, but it's hard when you've spent the latter 7 years of your life in one worldview. Trying to break that is so hard. It caused me to go down this path where I decided, you know what, I'm going to prove everybody wrong, move to Miami, and show them. And that's what I did. So I went through high school. I was still getting bullied, you know, here and there. Had my group of friends, right? But eventually, after graduation, COVID hit. Didn't expect that, and that made it even worse. You know, pushing me deeper into just seclusion. After graduation, I sat for 2 years in utter seclusion. Oh my God, I remember that. That was awful. So right after graduation, 18 years old. I didn't move out till 20. It was just me and my roommate Jerry. We sat in a parking lot for hours every single day for years. Every single day, we had this gym we would go to. But instead of going to the gym, because at that point we got tired of it. We used to, holy shit. Sorry, I've been talking. We used to go to that gym and work out for like 5 hours a day, every day. Eventually we got tired of that because you can only work out for so long. Eventually, we just decided, well, we don't want to sit in the house still. Let's just sit in the parking lot. And that's what we did. We sat in that parking lot, I kid you not, from sun up to sundown every day. Just listening to music, talking about girls, you know, just awful. I don't know. I can't even put it. I got music playing right now. I got to pause my own music. I got to get... Guys, when I tell you, sitting in that car parking lot every day was the worst experience I have ever gone through in my life. I told myself I would never die in Mississippi because the reason I did that is because I lived in Mississippi. There is nothing in Mississippi. There's not any parks, any city destination. There's nothing to do. We literally, all we could do was sit in the parking lot, and that's what we did. Sometimes we switched it up and like walked around the parking lot, but like imagine doing that for 2 years straight. That drove us utterly insane. Eventually me and my roommate said, you know what, we have to get out. And we moved out at 20 and said fuck everybody in high school, because my roommate, he's kind of the same as me. He got bullied because he's different. He likes to sing. He's a singer. He's very passionate about his singing. Very passionate. I realize kids that have like passions and there's just something that's different about them. Other kids that don't have it, to that extent, I guess, are very harsh on that other kid for some reason. Because Jerry, he got the same thing. He got, oh my goodness. He had a girl one time. Oh my God, I remember this story. He had a girl. And instead of like the guys just like, oh, hey, what's up, brother? Oh, it's a cool girl. I like girl. No. Yo, bro, your girl, I'm going to take her to fuck her. What? Yeah, I'm going to fuck her tonight. What? Unprompted, for no reason. His girl not even trying to go do that. Just the football, just assholes. Yo, I'm gonna fuck your girl. Unprompted, in the hallway. I remember, he told me, I was there. I said, yo, that's crazy. It couldn't, and there's no reason to fight, but like it just couldn't be me, right? But that was us, just getting bullied. So we decided to move out to Miami and try to change our lives. And at first, it was fun. Like when we first moved out here, it was fun. You know, we went out a couple times. We met some OnlyFans girls and escorts and other girls that's just crazy. And then we decided, you know what, maybe dating's not, you know, the best right now. You know, oof. Then we tried to hang out with guys, and that wasn't so good. You know, they do coke and they want to fuck every girl on the earth for some reason. Like literally, I remember this one guy. He told me, "I see girls as pussies." That was his exact word, his verbiage. Pussies. I said, what? Like, guys, I was 20 at the time. 20, 21, just moved out of my mom's house. I'm trying to make friends, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to date girls. They're escorts and OnlyFans girls. Maybe it was a mistake moving to Miami, but, you know, that was the first thing I did. The first thing I see is that. And then this one guy, yeah, man, like, these girls are just pussies, man. They just grab out a pussy. What? Unironically. Huh? What do you mean, brother? Yeah, man, just grab her by the pussy, man. Like, and if she get mad, like, fuck the bitch, bro. Like, come on. There's another girl. It's another girl. Come on, man. I'm like, yo, this is. I said, maybe it's just him. Maybe he's the crazy one. No. People say I'm a fuckboy or look like a fuckboy or I'm not a fuckboy. And sometimes I wish I could be, because there's so many times where girls would come to me and, I mean, I could have done the worst to them. And they know it. I could have done the worst. Didn't do it. Why? I don't know. Just something in me to be good. For some reason, other guys don't have it. Whatever. So yeah, the plan for me and my roommate was to come to Miami and take over and become famous, rich, yada yada, and shit on everybody in high school. But that didn't plan out. Well, you know, we did move up. You know, I live in the top floor, downtown Miami. So let me, in a way, and you know, a lot of girls that rejected me. I mean, I got kids and shit now. So like that whole story about, you know, just keep your head down, blah blah. Part of that is true. These chopped. I wanted to be a YouTuber originally, and I was posting content consistently at the time when I first moved here, and you know, I was doing pretty good. I actually got monetized, got recognized a couple times, and I could not believe it. I'll be honest. So when I first started YouTube, I'm at 2K subs now. But when I first started, I always dreamt of having 100K in that plaque, not because of fame or attention or clout, but because that plaque meant something to me. It was a physical form of an accomplishment that I did, something that you can't just go buy. You can't just go buy 100K subs or buy a plaque, right, with your name on it. You can't just go buy. You have to earn that, and that plaque is like, oh, you actually are good at this. And for me, that was my entire dream, moving to Miami. I said, I'm gonna move to Miami and I want to get to that 100 fucking K. And I was on the trajectory, right? Like I said, I got 2K, because when I first moved here, I had sub 1,000, hit 1,000, then I hit 2,000, got monetized. I was like, holy fuck, this is it. One video blew up, but it got 20,000 views. I was thinking, yo, Jerry, get your tap dancing shoes ready, buddy. You're gonna be singing and dancing, because that's what he wants to do. But shortly after that, things started to slow down, got a little stagnant, and now here we are a couple years later, and now I'm looking like, okay, I don't really know what's going on anymore. And during that time of me grinding and doing YouTube, I spent it by myself. Because of, like I said before, the red pill, they advised, yo, you need to spend all your time by yourself. If your boys can help you, then cut them off. If they can help you with your business, they're not your friend. If you guys don't have the same business ideas, cut them off. I got all of these things I accepted as truth because I was young and impressionable. You know, guys older than me with the money, the girls, the life that I want, telling me, yo, do it like this. So I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna grind YouTube. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm not gonna go to any parties. I'm not gonna talk to any girls. And I did that. Well, I talked to girls here and there, but a lot of girls I pushed off. Like, that was, regrets. One girl was in my bed talking about cum, and I'm sorry, cover your ears, kid. But she came in talking about, is that nut in the bed? It wasn't nut. It was just like lotion or some shit, and I wasn't doing that. But no, she was like immediately, yo, is that nut? Getting it all sexual, and she just said, hit the bed. And I didn't do it because we were making a YouTube video. And I said, no, I'm not gonna do that because, you know, I'll make the video and blah, blah. Stupid. Brother, me today, she was a little Asian little thing. I ain't gonna lie. She getting got. Simple as that. Her friend getting got too. All of that. It's all getting got. You know, I'm a different man today. I had to learn. But eventually, that same little Asian thing got me fired from my job because of some bullshit. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Maybe I will in another video. Fuck it. She falsely accused me of sexual harassment. Not assault. That'd be crazy. Harassment. One night we were out at this party, like this fucking house party thing, and she was talking about how she loves sucking dick. right? And I matched her energy. I was like, yo, come suck my dick, right? But I texted it. Mistake. She was my coworker. Mistake. And yeah, she had a boyfriend, and she was like, yo, get this guy out of here. And yeah, that was my life. I had to go. So for like a year, I was completely broke, right? So I met her when I was like 21. From 21 to 22, I was broke as a fucking bitch. Holy shit. Guys, when I tell you I went weeks with no food, no money, no nothing, it was bad. It was bad. I was thinking about the loneliness epidemic. I was thinking about the job market. I was thinking about what the hell happened to the economy. It was so much wrong. It was so much in my head for a year straight, and it pushed me even lower, because you got to keep in mind, I'm coming from bullying, all of these things, and I just want to move to Miami to prove everybody wrong. So I moved to Miami. I'm on a high. My channel was doing good. Boom, boom. But then it sort of slowed down. So now I'm like feeling like shit a little bit. Then this girl that I didn't get mines, right? I let her get by. She survived that. I'll be honest. Today she was tiny. She was like 90 pounds. She survived that, right? But I didn't get that. I didn't do my due diligence. And then she got me fired. Yo, when I tell you, it was this rage of emotions. Oh my God. I remember I used to just scream at the wall. Just fuck you, fuck the world, fuck everybody. I'm sick of all of this. Like, it was just anger at one point. Just anger. Like, at first it was just confusion, like, why? Like, okay. And then it was sadness, they're bullying me. I was sad as fuck, I was depressed. I'll be honest. I was so depressed in high school, middle school. Depression. Hated myself. I thought I was ugly. Didn't think I was good enough for anybody. I thought being black was a curse. I thought it was just, sorry. Ooh, you got born black? Ooh, good luck. That was my thought process. And then it turned into anger. Just pure anger. Fuck everybody. And I sat in that for a little bit, in that rage. And it didn't help me, it portrayed on my videos. My videos kept getting worse and worse because it came from this point of anger. It wasn't even love or a passion anymore. And I started doing it because I needed to prove it to everybody instead of doing it for love. Because when I first started, like I said, YouTube was a passion for me, and then it turned into this different thing. Like, oh, I got to prove everybody through my YouTube. But that's not why I originally created it for. Fuck no. Like, I wanted it to be for me, for, me to talk about things, to be like a personal diary. That's why I created the YouTube. And for me to turn it into what it became made me so sad. So because the YouTube didn't take off immediately, I had to work my 9 to 5 a lot, and working full time in Miami around the baddest bitches, around the men with the most money, feels like shit. And then just having the back of your head, the red pill, having that, just you trying to like suppress that because it's not complete, it's not real. Is every woman a whore? No. And for a guy that believes that, come on, brother, come on. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Come on. So to have that in the back of my head, that, oh, the red pill and every girl is terrible and they just want you for your money, to have that in my head, but then also to see it because I'm in Miami, I'm fucked up. It's not a good situation for me. It was just so much anger and rage. And fast forward to today. Here we are today, right? I still have some of that rage in me, and I'm trying to let it go because I saw that, when you spend so much time alone, that it alters how you feel about yourself and how you think and how you process your emotions, and it makes you more angry, more irritable. And my roommate was telling me this too. Us being secluded really changed us from lover boys to fuck boys, because we were so care about people, girl, like we didn't even want to hurt a fly. Now I could care less. And that sounds so fucked up, but I'm just being honest. You know, if a girl comes to me like, yo, like, do you love me? Like, I'm just trying to pay my bills. Maybe a girl might come along and change that for me. I don't know. But the way it's looking, I could care less. And I think that's just because I've been alone for so long. I think it just warped me to not care as much about other people's opinions and their love and their feelings and their point of view. Like, I could care less about anybody else. And that sounds so shitty. I hate that I'm even admitting that, but it's the truth. Because, like, why do I care? I haven't seen my family in years because I've been here just slaving away, trying to pay my bills, and girls fucking me over, give me fired. Like, why do I give a fuck? You know what I mean? All I care about is going back to my family and paying my bill. Like, I don't care. And I don't know if it's ever going to revert back, because I think social media is the serious cause of this. Ever since social media came out, people have been trying their darnest to show off. Like, I'm the best, I'm the coolest, I got the most money, I got the most girls. And it makes everybody just the worst versions of each other. Like, why is everybody trying to compete on a daily basis? Like, bro, it's fucking Sunday. Can I come outside? Like, why you got... Yeah, man, like, what's your fit, man? Rate my fit, bro. Like, what's up? Like, drip check. Like, you remember that shit? Drip check. Yo, what's your fit? Like, pulling your fucking tag. Yo, is it real or fake? Like, damn, like, yo, is it... Can I... Maybe it's fake. I didn't have enough money. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get made fun of in the comments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn. I'm all for buying fake jewelry. Fuck it. Brother, you understand how much that shit cost? $30K for a fucking chain? Or you can get $15K for it. I mean, $15K is still like crazy. I'm not even buying a chain. You know, but it's just like social media just made us evil. Truly. I look at the world because this is an unprecedented time. I told my roommate, the way the world has never been like this. And I mean, social media. We've never had social media. This is the first time we humans have ever lived through social media, the world of social media, and it ain't good. Why is every woman, every girl, I guess, looking for the dollar, and every guy, they're chasing the dollar? Like, it's just everybody's chasing money, fame, and attention and validation, and it's just it makes it even harder for me because I feel like I can't connect. It's impossible to connect with people because all they care about is making a dollar. And like I said, I don't give a fuck, right, about anybody else because that's kind of what I care about. I just care about paying my bills, right? And, you know, of course, making more money would be nice, but, you know, that's the whole problem. I was trying to make money and only paying our bills. At one point in time, before social media, all you had was the people around you, you know, your community, and that was it. And you cared about them because if anybody was hurt, yo, it's gonna affect the community. Like, yo, like if Susie gets hurt, then the kids might not be able to come out and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just affects everything. But nowadays, it's like social media, this person's 10,000 miles away. I don't give a fuck what they're going through. And it's just, I don't know. That's just been my experience. I feel like everybody's just getting more and more distant. The farther we get into life and social media, it's getting worse and worse. People are literally saying that they're gonna die alone. And I said it. I say it. I'm gonna die alone. I can say I look good, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I can have money in my pocket. But can I find a girl that's worth it? I don't think so. Not in this world, not in this economy, you know? And then the girl would say the same thing. Can I find a guy that's not gonna cheat, not be a piece of shit? And I don't really know if that's possible. Like, maybe it is. Maybe I will cheat. I said, I don't really know. I don't know. Give it 5-10 years, will I be loyal for the rest of my life? That's a hard question, you know? And the reason I don't know is because I've never had a genuine girlfriend. I'm 23 years old and never felt love. You understand that? Love, true love, not, oh, hey, what's up? Good morning. No, love, like, we're together forever. I need you. I will protect you. Like, I've never felt that. I don't even know what that feels like. And maybe I never will. I've come to that conclusion that maybe I would never feel love because this is not a Disney movie. Like, you don't just get a happy ending because you want it. Like, I was homeless at one point. Like, I never would have imagined me being homeless, but there it is. You're right. Life can just happen. I can go to the end of my grave, never meeting a woman, never getting the woman of my dreams, and that is a true reality. And it scares me a little bit because it's been 4 or 5 years and nothing. 4 or 5 more years can blink, and will it be nothing? I'll be 30 at that point. I don't. What? It's just. What the fuck? That's all I can say is what the fuck. Social media, life, what the fuck? I was told that our generation was going to change the world. We're going to do great things. Technology is booming. We're going to change futures and cure cancer. And TikTok? AI's taking our jobs. And inflation just gets worse and worse and worse. And it gets to the point where I don't even want to go outside. I just stay inside and scroll TikTok for hours. I doom scroll because I realized why I do it. Because TikTok is the only place where I can find genuine people just like me without the I can't say that word. Theatrics? Is that the word? Theatrics and the fakeness, and just meet normal, everyday people talking about normal shit. You understand? There's no mystery. Yo, what's going on TikTok? There's none of that. Yeah, guys, guess what? I just got fucked in that. Whoa. What are we talking about? Yeah, this is real, though. Yeah, man, I just cheated on my girl. Whoa, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's TikTok. The most crazy, insane, batshit crazy shit you will see is there. And I love it. I live for it. I love TikTok. I used to hate it. I still hate it. But I love it for that. To find genuine, real people. And I can just keep finding it over and over and just new people. But that's the only place you can find it, because for some reason, you go on Instagram, people are not the same. Like TikTok is just like a different place. People are okay with just being themselves on TikTok. For some odd reason, like Instagram, people gotta fake it. YouTube, people gotta fake it, script it. TikTok is the only place where people will literally just outplay everything. Yo, like I did this, I cheated this, I'm a slut this. Like, yo, whoa, okay, good to know. You know, so that's TikTok though. So, you know, I realize that's why I doom scroll a lot, because, you know, I find solace in just finding other people just like me going through this fucking experience. But it makes it even worse because I'm spending all my time just by myself scrolling. Literally, guys, deadass. Last 3 days, all day, every day, TikTok. Wake up 6 a.m. I go to work. If I'm not going to work, I'm literally in bed all day. Scroll. That's it for the last 3 days, which is why I wasn't recording. But I'm glad I did it, because when I talk, it does feel better to get off the chest, like just get it all off, and I just feel better now, you know. But I think we touched on everything I want to talk about. That's it. My experience of the loneliness epidemic has been quite the journey. You know, just spending so much time alone changes a person, you know. I'm at the point where I want to move out of Miami, because I feel like Miami is a part of the problem. A lot of people here are they take it to the max. They're trying to be celebrities. Guys, fuck being a celebrity. Do you want to get mobbed down the street every day? Not be able to go to the store? Why do you want that? Get talked about in the media? People talk about your spouse. Why would you want? I don't want that. Which is why I hate that I do YouTube or I do this podcast thing, because it could get attention, a lot of attention, and unwanted, right? You know, I don't want people to, yo, where's Ty? Where's his house? And go find him. You know, I don't want that. I just want to be able to chill out and spit just nonsense off the dome and just call it a day. But in this world, we don't get that, I guess. But I think that's it. I think I got what I want to talk about out. If you guys enjoyed, since we're on YouTube, subscribe, like, all those things. If you enjoy this format, let me know. Just me speaking, because I'm new at this. I'm trying to get better. We're gonna get better at this. I did a little bit of cuts because some pauses, food came in. So yeah, I'm trying to get better at talking just off the dome because I'm not used to it. Usually I got editing to rely on. So like I talk in editing, like the way I edit, I talk to be able to edit. If that makes any sense. But I'm not editing this. Well, I did a little bit, but if I wasn't, like I'm not supposed to, right? I would just be talking like this, and I'm not used to that. So I'm trying to get better at just letting it go and just talking. But goodbye. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, great night this night. Love ya. See you in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye. I don't know.